What is up, everybody? I'm going to break out the routine a little bit and just give out my heartfelt thoughts to the people that are involved in the DC riots right now. I'm not sure if there's anybody out there who in the audience, is in the area or has family affected, but what a crazy day in the market. That's some wild stuff. So I just want to start off by bringing that up, bringing it to your attention if you aren't aware. Back to the routine. Welcome to Trey's Trades, where we give technical analysis on different stocks in the stock market, as well as potential buy, hold, or sell opinions on these given stocks. I'd like to preface by saying that I am not a financial advisor nor expert. I am just some random dude on YouTube, so take what I say with a grain of salt. The reason that I started this channel is because a couple years back, I was about $30,000 deep in some pretty bad medical debt, and I was very fortunate to have some close family, friends, and mentors that pushed me to work really hard and invest my money. And I'm happy to say that not only am I now financially free, but I'm living pretty well off for the age of 23. So if I can pass along any of the information, resources, or tools that were given to me to the community here at Trey's Trades, make your guys' lives a little bit better off than they were before, that's all a guy can ask for. Lastly, if you would not mind liking the video, it really does help support the channel. And consider subscribing if you'd like to see more content like this, as I do give Microvision updates every single day. Now, quick shout out to the guys over the Patreon. We had a couple more people join today. Valentino, Joy, Edmar, Rafshan, Albert, Flacco, Ezgi, Kenny. All these guys will have access to the private Discord, as well as real-time updates to my investing. So if you are interested, there is a link in the description box down below. Now, we're going to be looking at ticker symbol MVIS, and what the heck, what a wild ride. We have a lot to talk about today, so you guys need to buckle in for a couple different things, and I'm going to talk about why I think we saw this pretty harsh sell-off at the end of the day. I've got two different reasons, and we're going to talk about the volume. These are the two big things that really stand out to me on the trading day. So let's just get right into the video. So I do have pulled up an article about the evacuation that's happening on Hill right now. So let's just take a quick read on this, just in case you're not up to date. Congress convened today to tally the Electoral College votes in the U.S. presidential election. President Donald Trump hosted a rally this morning near the White House with several thousand people in attendance. As the day has worn on and Congress continues its work, protesters are clashing with U.S. Capitol Police on Capitol Hill. The Department of Homeland Security is sending additional federal agents to the U.S. Capitol to help quell violence from supporters of President Donald Trump, who are protesting Congress' former approval of President-elect Joe Biden's win. Now, I'm keeping this completely apolitical. I am in the Army. I'm not allowed to display my political opinion, and I honestly don't like to. I try to stay, as apolitical as I can, but this is especially why the market is seeing some crazy movement today all across the board. We were pretty green for the majority of the day, and when these articles started coming out, I don't know about you guys, but watching my brokerage account and watching all the charts, everything started tanking. Not just MVIS, but fuel cell, IDEX, a whole bunch of different sectors, the pharmaceuticals, the tech companies. Everybody was pulling out of these stocks, everybody was selling, and it was a pretty crazy day. And that happened at the exact time that you can see this pretty harsh sell-off in MVIS. And I do think that is a large reason why that we saw this happen. So just keep that in the back of your mind with the market today. It was pretty wild, very unusual, abnormal, price action happening across the board today. But we're going to be looking at, the overall volume trends. We're going to look at the volume weighted moving average. We're going to look at the EMA, which is the exponential moving average. I am going to pull that up real quick. And the exponential moving average, just to give you guys an idea of what that is a trend line that follows the stock based on a given time period. So it's like the average price valuation of, a given stock's price action. The volume weighted moving average, the green line right here, is a trend line that is based off of the overall volume that's coming in, and it does take into consideration the amount of volume typical and the amount of volume atypical. So you can see here that with this spike, the volume moving average does change compared to what you see, in previous levels. There's a huge gap up here with the volume versus, a little amount of volume, not as much of a gap up. So we're going to touch on that. We're going to touch on the RSI today, talk about the price action here, and then we have some new levels of support and resistance established as well on the 6-month, on the 1-month chart and the 1-day, 1-minute chart. So we do still have this 423 immediate support level. We have not tested that out yet. We did test it out, 2 days ago. We did pop down underneath 491. We did rebound very well, which is good. It was a false dip, which is nice for those investors like me who have a position in this stock. I will fully disclose my position just to give some credibility. And I am down pretty bad on this stock at the moment. I have MVIS right here, dollar cost average currently sitting at about $6.78, 1,978 shares, currently down about $3,000, 573 on the day. And what's wild is at one point in the day, we were actually up about, $500 or $600. So it's been a crazy ride for sure. This MVIS sucker, man, she really slaps you some days, and today was one of those days. So we do have, these immediate support levels. It does seem like we're holding up 491 very well. I am hesitant to say, but I think that this may be the floor on the stock price correction since we've seen this initial spike. It's hard to know for sure, but we have held up at this level pretty well for the last 1, 2, 3, 4 days or so. It's been some up and down price action. What's really interesting about this stock is we do see a lot of price action in the pre-market and the after hours. You can see that we usually have some pretty solid either climb up or climb down. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a gap up or down in either direction, given this after hours market and the pre-market. Right now we're sitting right about the same. 524 is what we closed at. We're sitting right around the same at 523 or so. So it is interesting, so keep that in mind. The average volume that we're seeing coming in is about the same. We are seeing pretty typical numbers. If we do see a spike in volume, anything like this, like this day, even just a small bump, all it's going to take is a 2 times usual or even a 1.5 times usual volume. That to me is going to be an indicator that buyers are going to start stepping in. People will take notice of that because there are investors that use tools such as the NASDAQ unusual volume indicator. You can search it on the internet, and they will find stocks that have unusual trading volume and try to leverage that momentum and get into plays like that. And I can see that happening with MVIS. So now I am going to be watching for that over the next couple of days if that does happen. But what is most interesting, and we'll get to, is the volume that we see right here, right before the market close. RSI indicator, at one point in the pre-market, we were overbought. We did touch right over 70. We did see a pretty large spike up yesterday. And if you watched my video yesterday, you do know that Microvision saw this abnormal spike up, in volume yesterday, which is why today's spike up in volume is very interesting to me. It's going to be interesting to see if this trend continues. I do have a theory as to why this is happening, and we will talk about that in just a second. But we were overbought, and we did correct, underneath 50. Anything over 70 is overbought. Anything under 30 is oversold. And we ended the day right around 45. So we are approaching oversold territory. Not quite there yet. More neutral than anything. So pretty typical price action in that realm. Now, the blue line is the exponential moving average, which is just the overall average trend line of price valuation. That's currently sitting at 537. So we are underneath that, which is a bearish signal. And the green line, the volume weighted moving average, as I stated before, is just a trend line valuation average based on volume and the amount of volume that is coming in. It does take that amount of volume into consideration, and we are currently trading underneath both of these levels right here, which is a bearish indicator, and that is to be expected since we are bearish on the day. We did start out at 552, close at 521, so 523 as I was. So it was a down day. We are down about 5% on the day, so that's not a huge win in our books, but it is promising because we did see this huge spike in price action, and we're going to talk about that right now. So what is very interesting is if we look at this on a 2-day chart, you can see that we saw the same spike in volume both days, right before the bell closed. And this time around it wasn't as much volume, but I do think the reason behind this is there may be some toots that are getting into this stock after all the shorts attacked this at the beginning of the day. Shorts are sellers that ride in the market. They'll sell their shares initially and then buy them back at a lower cost, if you did not know that. So they're taking advantage of the fact that this stock is usually shorted in the morning, pretty heavily sold off. There has been a lot of selling pressure. And then when the stock price is pretty low in value, I think they are buying large, vast amounts on this stock, loading the boat, getting ready for some things that are coming, right? We saw the same thing happen today with not as many stocks, or not as many shares, not as many shares traded, but a large sum. We were trading 6,000, 15,000, 13,000, shares in a 1-minute window. And then all of a sudden we spiked to, 158,000, 254,000. This right here was 500,000. This is a huge spike in volume, which is really abnormal. You don't see that out of a stock, especially 2 days in a row. To me, that is a sign that something is coming, right? We haven't had any news catalysts, we have not had any public relations, and I don't think this is a pump and dump. So why would we be seeing this huge spike in volume on the stock right before the bell? Well, my theory is there are some insiders, there are some institutional buyers that know something is coming with this stock, that have insider information on what the company is doing, and they are just getting ready for the big things to come, and they are loading the boat with MVIS. MVIS has a lot of things that are on the horizon, guys. They are a lidar tech company. They are working on automotive lidar that is expected to come into a presentation by April. So that is a huge catalyst that is upcoming. And I think once we get closer to that date, we are going to see, a slow climb in anticipation to a positive presentation, right? They do have IVAS technology that is utilized by the U.S. Army aviation sector. And this IVAS tech is something they wear on their kevlars, which are just helmets, and it helps them navigate the skies more freely. There is IVAS tech that is in the works right now for goggles that infantrymen, armor guys, field artillery guys, air defense artillery guys would be able to use on the battlefield to more clearly navigate the ground, right? And this tech is huge, guys. It is such a large market value, in my opinion. And if we pull up MVIS on Yahoo and just look at stock twits, you can tell that I'm on there a lot. I try to keep up with the message boards. If we look at Microvision on Yahoo, we can look at their market cap, and it is $791 million, and I think it is worth a lot more than that. I have read in a couple different sources that this IVAS tech that the Army uses alone was a $2 billion deal. So I don't understand how a deal can go through and the company can be worth less than the deal, if that makes any sense. So I do think that there are promising things on the horizon. I do have a long hold position on this stock. I am planning on holding this through 2021 or until a potential buyout. And that's a whole nother realm, guys. Like this company is definitely buyout potential, right? We've got Microsoft, who could very greatly use their lidar tech because they're trying to get into the automotive game, right? Tesla, and I know there are people that have bashed me before for saying it, but Tesla, Elon Musk, as much as he says he doesn't like lidar, this lidar tech is not clunky, goofy looking. It is sleek. It is aesthetic, and it would look good on a Tesla. You wouldn't even be able to tell. I've seen those pictures floating around of Teslas that might have lidar tech on them, and those things look like freaking bike racks on the top of the cars. There's no way that was. I just don't think that's really possible. But there's Apple, right? Apple getting into the automobile game. There's so much potential here for a buyout, and they have stated. Sumit Sharma, the CEO, has stated that is the end goal. That they are looking for ways to increase both company value and shareholder value, and I do really firmly believe that is on the horizon. It is an addition, right? We're not expecting the buyout. We're not here for the buyout. We're here because of the great company. But in addition to a great company, we do have potential for a buyout. So that is the update on the volume and stuff on what's happening there. We do have support levels here at $5.07 that we held up pretty well. 492 right here from yesterday, 488 from yesterday, and then resistance, which was prior support, is going to be sitting here at $5.28. We do have quite a few different contact points here, and then 539 was a prior level of resistance. You can see 1, 2, 3 different contact points. We do have a head and shoulders pattern here, which is a little bit bearish, but we did push through with that huge spike in volume, came back down, and that is what we were looking at on the day. So overall a bearish day for sure. If we look here at the 1 month chart, we have been very bearish. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days that we've been on this downward trend, and I pretty firmly believe that 491 is going to be the floor here. If it's not, we're looking at potentially a little bit lower, like if we draw up a line right here of support from this previous level of support, we're looking at maybe 472. If we push through that, you may be looking at $4.23. So just be on the watch for that. That is if you're looking to enter into the stock and you're not currently in, maybe you watch to see if this is the floor. If you do currently have a position in this stock, you're looking the dollar cost average down. These are the levels that you're looking at, right? If we do drop below 491, I can tell you one thing for sure. I am going to be dollar cost averaging down and improving my position for when the stock inevitably does level up. I can very easily see this not just being a $10+ stock at the end of the year, but a $15, a $20, a $25 stock very easily. This company is extremely undervalued, and I just don't think that many people know about it. So that was my update on MVIS for the day. I hope that it gives you some insight on the price action. The DC riots are a very sad situation and completely apolitical. My heartfelt sympathy does go out to the people who are involved out there. I hope that all your guys' families and friends are completely safe and you guys are doing well if you are in that area in the States. So thank you for watching the video. I really do appreciate it. Please consider dropping a like. It really does help support the channel, and subscribing if you'd like to see more content like this, as I do post videos every day, and I do Microvision updates every day. And lastly, I do have an affiliate link in the description box down below for TubeBuddy. Now, TubeBuddy is an SEO optimization website that I personally pay a $9 per month membership fee for, and I would not recommend it to you guys if I did not personally love it and use it. It is highly what I contribute growing to 1,000 subscribers in 17 days to. And if you are a content creator or are looking to become one, it is a huge tool that you could definitely leverage to get your videos into the eyes of your intended audience. So if you use my link, I do receive a commission. It's a great way to support the channel. And if not, I just appreciate you guys being a part of the community and a part of the crew out here at Trey's Trades. So thank you for coming to the video, guys, and I will see you all next time, my friends. Peace.